Alright, hey guys. The name's Lionel. Okay, that's what you need to know. If you're wondering why I keep looking that way, it's because I'm looking at my my notes. What I'm going to be talking about to keep the video nice and quick and short. So, okay, it says here on my notes here, a bit about me and what the channel's for. So let me tell you about that. Okay, so my name's Lionel, from the UK, specifically East London. Yeah, so a bit about me. I started learning Japanese 5 years ago. I am 21 right now, and I've just graduated university. And as for why I started Japanese, it was simple. Me and my friend, I'm gonna keep this really quick and short because you know, people on YouTube who watch YouTube videos, they don't like long videos, innit? And yeah, you like quick, snappy informational videos. But I'm gonna tell you a bit about myself. You're gonna sit there and you're gonna listen, okay? All right, so I hope the camera's angled correctly because if I have to look back after talking all of this rubbish and see that the angle is pointing at my big forehead, then it's gonna be very embarrassing. But anyway, yeah, so what was I saying? Okay, 21, started learning Japanese 5 years ago. Why? Long story short, me and my friend, we wanted to have a language that we can speak to each other that nobody else knew.
Ha! Gay!
Second reason, I wanted to watch Japanese anime without subtitles. Well, that's a good reason or not, I don't care what you think, okay? Yeah, that's why I started learning Japanese. So I started learning Japanese. Learned it 4 or 5 years. Got to, use the Genki books and so on. Anyway, the main important thing is why I started this channel. I'm starting this channel because in those 5 years of me learning Japanese, I've learned a lot about learning Japanese. I know a lot about learning Japanese. I've gathered a ton of knowledge, okay? And I'm here to break it down to you in nice, bite-sized pieces that you can enjoy because you guys are little babies and you're my babies now. And I know there's tons of you who are just out there, I want to learn Japanese, but you see all this information all over the internet and it's just, and all these YouTube videos and they're just teaching you all these things and you're like, oh, yeah, information overload. So I'm gonna give it to you nice and simply and you're gonna be grateful. You are going to be grateful. I don't know if you noticed, but I'm not even using a script. I'm just running my mouth. And that's a bad thing. I think I should probably use a script by now. Yes, so why I started this channel is to teach you guys how to learn Japanese, okay? How to learn Japanese, how to get somewhat fluent in it, okay? No crap, no nonsense, no sponsors, just raw, good, valuable information, and you're gonna be thankful, okay? So yeah, next. I don't know if the camera's angled correctly, but yeah. The next thing on my notes over here, it says why Japanese and how I started. I think I kind of touched that in the previous part of the video. This is where, okay guys, I may seem very unorganized, but I am an organized person. It's just that I was so excited to start this channel. And this first video is not even useful to you. It's just about me, okay? So that's why I'm not really trying to put a script and make it very informational and stuff like that. And I'm just rambling and I'm rambling without a script. But the next coming videos, they're gonna be very good. Anyway, so it says in my notes why Japanese and how I started. I think I already touched up on that. As I mentioned before, anime without subtitles, I wanted a language that me and my friend could speak to each other with that nobody could understand. We're such kids. I was 16. And yeah, my friend ended up giving up after like 2-3 months of us learning, and I decided to continue learning Japanese by myself. Yeah, okay, so how I started, learn hiragana, katakana, and just picked up the Genki books and went through the Genki books. Just because I'm telling you how I started it does not mean this is how you should start and how you should learn Japanese. I'm just telling you for your information to learn a bit about me, how I started. However, I'm going to teach you how you should start learning Japanese, and that's all going to be told in the coming videos. But I'm telling you about me, how I started. I remember downloading a whole bunch of apps, Duolingo, Hello Talk, and I was using all these different apps.
Okay, 2つね.
I was just trying to learn Japanese. I don't even know what, with no previous experience learning a language, I was just all over the place. And came across Anki, started using that. You know, making flashcards, terrible flashcards. Oh my gosh, anyway, that's besides the point. Anyway, so I've been learning, long story short, for like four of those 5 years of me learning Japanese, I wasn't even learning Japanese. Like, I didn't even know what I was doing. I thought I was learning Japanese, basically. And I was just not improving, very trash at Japanese, very crap. And I'm gonna tell you the do's and I'm not even gonna tell you the do's. I'm gonna tell you the do's and that's it. I mean, I think I'll tell you the don'ts later, but anyway. Yeah, so that's how I started. 4 years of learning Japanese, and then so far, and then I've had 1 year. The 5th year is where I actually started learning Japanese. So yeah, if you don't know how long I've been learning Japanese, for real, it's 1 year. However, my Japanese is going pretty good, man. I ain't even gonna lie.
Cap.
Now with the album out, are you paying attention to what people are saying about it?
Okay, okay, my Japanese is not good. It's trash. My Japanese is trash. But it is, the point of this YouTube channel is to teach you guys how you should learn Japanese and how you're gonna get to fluency along with me. And yeah, you're gonna find a lot of useful information. I think we're repeating ourselves. We should probably have planned this and scripted this. Yeah, anyway. Okay, next part. Why and how I went hardcore. Okay, so 4 years of learning Japanese, and then last year, beginning of Corona, I sat down because the world stopped. It was like the whole world just went Zawarudo. Time stopped. That's sort of how it was like. Yeah, like it was like the whole world stopped, and I could sit down and I reflected. I was like, okay, now I'm stuck at home, nothing to do. What am I gonna do? I started thinking about my Japanese. I was like, Lando, you've been learning Japanese for 4 years, and what have you got to show for yourself? All you can say is watashi no namae wa rainaru desu.
Oh wow. Oh wow. Oh wow. Oh wow.
I was like, no, that's embarrassing. That was very embarrassing. So I started doing research. I'm like, man, how do you actually learn this language? How do you actually learn language? How do you actually learn Japanese? Like, what the hell have I been doing this whole time? That's what I did last year, beginning of coronavirus, around February or so, March. Started researching, came across the AJATT method and channels like Map versus Japan and so on. And I started researching. I started looking into the reading and seeing what the whole method was about. And that's when I realized I just came across gold, jackpot. This is how you're gonna learn a language. And everything I've been doing up until now was a bunch of Maloney, bro. Maloney. What's Maloney? Post Malone? I don't know. Hotel Trivago. Yeah, anyway. AJATT method. Came across that. Links will be in the below of what the AJATT method is. But to summarize to you guys what the AJATT method is, it stands for all Japanese all the time. And the sort of main idea is that when it comes to learning languages, I also came across the Refold method, which is made by a guy called Map versus Japan, similar to AJATT. He basically based it off of AJATT. The AJATT methods, all Japanese all the time. You should learn a language. First, you should learn Japanese by having it with you all the time. You should basically make an environment around yourself that is full of Japanese. That involves changing your phone to Japanese, listening to Japanese music only, listening to Japanese shows only, anime, making Japanese friends. You're basically bringing Japan to wherever you're living.
Get over here!
And he says the most important thing is getting inputs, because you cannot start outputting. When I say output, I mean speaking and writing and so on. You can't start doing that until you've got enough input of the language. Because when it comes to languages, anyway, we're not going to get into too much detail, but the main, it's all Japanese all the time. You can go read about it. My next video is going to be about the explanation of the Refold method and the AJATT method. But anyway, next. Anyway, so as I said before, this channel is going to be about how you should learn Japanese. Everything you need, all the tools, all the resources, how to get those resources. And also, I guess I'll put some updates on my Japanese and what's going on and how I'm progressing. Oh yeah, I forgot to tell you guys. Oh yeah, I'm aiming for the N2 exam the end of this year, in December. I was supposed to do it this month actually, July, beginning of June, sorry. But it got cancelled here in the UK because of Corona and stuff. So I'm gonna do it in December. So yeah, I'm around high N2, N3 level in terms of like, you know, in terms of JLPT levels. But yeah, that's the end of this video. I'm probably gonna title it My Journey Before AJATT and MIA or Refold, something like that. I think we've covered everything we need. I'm probably gonna cut out some bits and stuff because there's a lot of me rambling. But yeah, so yeah, I realized my Japanese is very bad. Oh wait, hold on. Yeah, I think I might need to re-say that. So yeah, coronavirus, and I don't think this is angled properly. Coronavirus, is it? I don't think it's angled correctly. Coronavirus. Realized that 4 years of learning Japanese, now I haven't got much to say for myself. And also, I was like, learning Japanese because you want to know. I'm not saying learning Japanese because you want to watch anime without subtitles is a bad goal. But I was like, I'm someone who wanted to excel and, you know, just do better for himself. And so I was like, why am I gonna spend all this time learning a language and only thing I can do is watch anime without subtitles? You might as well make it an asset to yourself. And that's where I hit my goal. I set my goal of becoming fluent in the language, being able to, like, I have English, which is my native language, and then Japanese will be just my second language. Like, I can do whatever I need to do, you know, in Japanese you do. I can't speak English anymore when I say it's my native language. I wanted to be able to, everything I can do in English, I can do in Japanese. That's my goal. Yeah. And also that's when it led to my goal. I also wanted to be able to work in Japan, have the ability to work in Japan with my Japanese level. And that's when I started studying for the JLPT levels, because obviously you need the qualifications N2 or N1. So that's where that goal was added to my study. And that's when I started going hardcore. I started going real hardcore with Japanese, and that was like last year, beginning of Corona. And since then, man, I tell you, my Japanese level has skyrocketed. Some of you will be like, prove it. No, I'm not gonna prove it. You're just gonna take my word for it, okay?
What? What the fuck?
You're gonna take my word for it. Why? Because the things I'm gonna teach you and show you in the following next videos, you're gonna be like, oh, that makes sense. Oh, that makes sense. Oh, wow. These are some good resources. Oh, okay, now it seems like he knows what he's talking about. Okay, yeah. And maybe then I'll also show you my Japanese level. But anyway, that's the end of today's video. Thank you for watching. Yeah, next video is where everything starts. So get ready for your Japanese learning bootcamp. I'll see you guys there. Sayonara. Is that how you say bye? Jamatane. No. Hasta la vista, baby.